So, let's see what real tyranny is doing in this country, in the United States of America. So here we have a tweet from Cori Bush that is in response to this case that happened on Christmas. Maybe it was Christmas Eve. But yesterday, I think it was yesterday, I did a story about how a former mayor in a Minnesota city was killed by a sheriff's department car. Does anyone remember? I did that yesterday, maybe the day before. A car from the sheriff's department killed the mayor. Former mayor, anyway. The car did. There was a driver in the car who was a police officer, but the headline was that the car killed the former mayor. So here's another great headline. Stray bullet kills girl as officers fire at suspect in Los Angeles store. First of all, why are police opening fire with machine guns in a department store? What? I don't care what was the suspect like a terrorist that had like a nuclear bomb that was about to go off? Like, what scenario makes it justifiable to have a machine gun and shoot up a department store? Like, did they have, like, the president, like, fucking, like, tied to a chair somewhere with, like, are they, like, the Jigsaw killer from the Saw movies, right? And there's, like, a fucking, like, you know, like, bowl of acid about to, like, go onto Joe Biden's head? Why are they trying to gun him down so hard? But, again, the officers didn't kill a 14-year-old. Notice how the headline doesn't have 14-year-old in it. It's just girl. But it's a stray bullet. The cop had nothing to do with it. So Cori Bush said, Valentina Orellana, Peralta, this 14-year-old baby girl was shopping for quinceañera dresses on Christmas Eve when she was gunned down. A stray bullet didn't kill her. A police officer with a loaded gun did. Headlines like these help police violence to continue to go unchecked. There's another story I might talk about today where a 13-year-old died. A 13-year-old on a dirt bike died. In fact, you know what? I've got it right here. Let me just I'll do this in a separate segment. But just for emphasis. Check this headline out. This is another, like, these are all separate instances over the course of this week. A 13-year-old boy riding a dirt bike died. These are, and again, yesterday I covered a story where a sheriff's department car killed a former mayor. But anyway, I'll get into this one later. But here we have the body camera footage of this incident that occurred. And there's some very interesting things here. So, in this video, you can see the captions. So, in the captions, they are all telling Officer Jones, who was the murderer who murdered a 14-year-old, to hold up and to slow down and to stop. Right? And then they shot anyway. Check this out. All right. This is the guy who murdered someone in Los Angeles, murdered a 14-year-old. It wasn't a stray bullet. It was this guy, William Dorsey Jones Jr., is a murderer. His colleagues told him to stop. Now, again, I ask you this. There is a guy with a machine gun in a department store shooting willy-nilly and is not answering orders, police orders. The police ordered this murderer to stop shooting. So why didn't the police shoot and kill Officer Jones? Who's more of an active threat? An unnamed random suspect? A 14-year-old girl shopping for her quinceañera? Or some fucking psychopath with a machine gun shooting up a department store? Why didn't the police shoot and kill William Dorsey Jones? Why? Because they're on the same team. They're a gang. They're a gang, a roving gang of criminals that will murder anyone they want and get away with it because the state has a monopoly on violence. The state can kill you. The state can kill your son. They can kill your daughter. They can kill your friend. They can kill your dad. They can kill anyone you want. Anyone they want, rather. And if you even think of questioning them, they'll kill you too. Why didn't the cops shoot and kill the guy running around a department store, not listening to orders with a machine gun? Anyone? Does anyone know? We have this big detailed thread from the People's City Council of Los Angeles on Twitter. Apparently this guy got $170,000 in salary. He got paid $170,000 to murder a 14-year-old. Also, apparently, they were the person in charge of a, quote, non-profit called Officers for Change. Whatever that means. Like, Officers for Change. Yeah, the change, like, killing your fucking daughter. Some pretty good change. But as you can see here, in the video itself, December 23rd, everyone was asking them to stop. And he just refused to listen and murdered someone for no reason. And again, go back to Cori Bush's good point here. The New York Times, it's a stray bullet. Stray bullet. It was just a car. It wasn't the officer driving the car. No, it was just the car. And then I look at this one. I'm going to cover this one in just a second. A 13-year-old boy riding a dirtbag died. Just dropped the fuck dead. They just died. A 13-year-old died. How did they die? I don't know. They just died.